Meow. What is this? What is this? Oops. Why do I look like this? It's nearly Halloween. This is a flying witch on a broom with a pointy hat. Does it look scary enough? It's the time of trick or treat, threatening mischief if you don't get a treat, a candy, a giveaway. It's the time of carving pumpkins into lanterns. See, in the Middle Ages, disease was rife. It was not a great time to live. And there were many witches with their magical, herbal solutions, which would give hallucinations to people. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have another horror scenario coming up. The world is faced with the abyss of another global economic depression because of peak debt. And the witches of today have a magical solution. Helicopter money. That's money for the people instead of for the 1%. Because what we've had so far was normal stimulus, QE, quantitative easing, which hasn't worked. It's an asset swap, swapping illiquid paper in exchange for money that went straight into the casino for the 1%. So why not helicopter money? It shouldn't be taboo. Dropping money directly into the system. Mailing checks out to everybody. More money, more spending. That would create wealth. More something for nothing. Prosperity is right around the corner. But why hasn't quantitative easing, normal stimulus, not worked? Well, there's peak debt, forced deleveraging, a lot of deflationary forces. We have populations in decline in the major countries. We have velocity of money, that is, the speed at which money is spent, has been declining for decades. That's why normal QE has not worked. So, why not have a last roll of the dice? And the risks of helicopter money are manageable. Oh, really? What happens to money? Is money becoming a hot potato? Well, velocity of money would shoot up. Could we have uncontrollable inflation? Does it really benefit anyone with rising prices? See, normal quantitative easing is considered temporary because central banks at some point can unwind, can sell assets at a profit or a loss, But helicopter money is permanent, cannot be put into any reverse. Does it sound scary enough? See, once you have the taste for helicopter money, there is no end to it. Not only that, it will require an accelerated supply to stay in one place, because as confidence in money declines, you have to keep printing. You know, it took 100 years for central bankers to decrease the purchasing power of money to nearly zero. 100 years. Helicopter money could do the job in 1 or 2 years. And, we could have money that will not be accepted anymore. Now, we've had, of course, 7 years of zero interest rate, the zero interest rate policy, along with quantitative easing, QE. And it has not worked. But they are the signs of the end of the road. We also had so-called financial repression. So $6 trillion of global government bonds have negative yields. Does that sound like a healthy monetary system? Of course not. Anybody who thinks that rates will go up doesn't understand what's going on. Rates cannot go up. There is no exit strategy. And helicopter money is the last roll of the dice before there will be a total collapse. And then we will have a new monetary system. But we will have to collapse first, because we have the biggest asset bubble in history. So helicopter money will not be the solution, but it may be tried. We, at some point, will have a currency backed by something. Most likely gold, because there is nothing else that people have confidence in. Since 1971, we've had currencies backed by nothing. So-called fiat currency. So helicopter money will be the death sentence of fiat currency. We will have a total collapse of asset prices, stocks, commodities, real estate prices will all collapse. And after the collapse, yes, we will sit around the table and think about a new currency that is backed by something, most likely gold. In 1934, we had a 75% devaluation of the dollar and a higher gold price. That was the refinancing of all the central banks. Now we're faced with the same situation, but we will have a financial collapse despite any helicopter money, because there will never be enough of it to keep the whole thing together. So what should you do? You should have as much cash in US dollars as possible. You should get rid of all these overvalued assets that will be worth a fraction of what they are today. The collapse of commodity prices of more than 60% in the last few years is just the first phase. Commodity prices will decline another 50% before they're at a level where overproduction stops. Real estate is financed, and financing will be very hard to come by in the coming deflationary collapse. So we will have auction after auction, and auction prices of real estate are a fraction of what people think they should be worth. And stocks have been pumped up, both by the companies themselves, buying up their own stock, borrowing money to do it, and by all these policies of the central banks. We have an Alice in Wonderland world that will end. So helicopter money is the end game. And then you want to be protected. You want to have US dollar cash, US treasuries, because that market will never close. And of course, you need some physical gold coins under your own control in a safe place. But remain diversified, because it's not all going to happen tomorrow, but it'll all happen in the next few years. And you better be prepared. So, happy Halloween.